Hello students, I am Sangeeta KS, your zoology lecturer. Uh, Hope you all of you doing well. In the second semester, you have diversity and functional anatomy of chordates. As you have studied in the first semester, non-chordates, in this semester you are going to study about chordates. So before watching the video, just go through the syllabus so that you can easily understand what I am saying now. In this non-chordates, the first chapter you have is introduction to chordates. So, before knowing the different classes of or examples of chordates, we should know what is chordates. Okay, so in this video you are going to study what is chordate, what are the key characters of chordates. Okay, so as you can see in this picture, say if I ask you give an example for chordate, it's very easy. So in your surrounding you have seen many chordates. Well, chordates are considered as the second largest phylum in the animal kingdom, and you know that which phylum is the first largest phylum, that is Arthropoda. So next to Arthropoda we have chordate phylum, which have rich diversity. Okay, so chordate includes birds, aves, mammals, fishes, even human beings also an example for chordate. So what are the key characters which makes an animal chordate? That is a basic key character we are going to study in this video. Okay, so there are mainly four key characters that should be in the animal in order to consider say this is a chordate or a non-chordate. So let's see which are all the key characters that should be present in an animal to call it as a chordate. Okay, so let's see the fundamental characters or general characters of chordata, phylum chordata. Well, the presence of notochord, which is a very important key character. Of course, if we are human, if we say we are human beings, we call it as we are considered as a chordate, right? So, in order to consider us as a chordate, we should have this basic character that is the notochord. Then, what is this notochord? Well, as you can see here, say notochord is a flexible, a rod-like solidified structure which is present just above the alimentary canal and just below the nerve cord. Okay, as you can see here, say this is this is an example for chordate, which is actually a mixing which you're going to study in further classes. Okay, so these animal, so as you can see here, a flexible rod like structure, solid structure, which is present in the dorsal region of the body, and this notochord is developed from the mesodermal structure. Okay, and it is actually look like a small tube like structure as you can see in the picture, and it's a very flexible elastic like structure which is very helpful for flexible movement. And what is the main purpose of this notochord is actually it gives support. We can say it is a backbone structure. Okay, so it gives support to the animal. Like in human beings, it is actually present in the dorsal surface. Means you can say it literally is present in the back side of your body. Okay, but this notochord it will be developed as a backbone. Okay, so that is the basic fundamental character of the chordate. So another one key character that should be present in a chordate, that is the presence of dorsal tubular nerve cord. So what is this dorsal tubular nerve cord? In the previous slide you have seen that say this notochord is present below the just above the alimentary canal and below the nerve cord. Okay, see in this picture they have not mentioned any nerve cord or alimentary canal, but in between this you can find the notochord. What is that? That is uh, given here, right? So then what is this nerve cord? So nerve cord is nothing but is a hollow tubular structure, okay, which is extended from almost up from anterior to posterior region, okay, which is extended from anterior to posterior end of the body. So in order to understand this, say this is actually an example for a typical chordate, which is actually called as a lancelet. Okay, lancelet, which is actually called as a typical chordate because these animals have all the fundamental coded character. Of course, all the animals have the coded character, but remember one thing, the character that I have mentioned here, four main basic characters. These characters, there is no rule that they should be present in the embryonic stage, or it should be present, say, from birth to end of life. There is no such rule. These character may express during at any point of their lifetime. It may be present in the embryonic stage. At the adult stage, it may disappear. Okay, or it may present from larval stage or young stage to death. Okay, so that means during their lifetime these four key character express at any point, means it will be shown at any point. Then we can say that, say, this is a coordinate. Okay, there is no rule that it has to be there. These structures should be there up to end of their life. Okay, and it is not possible. Okay, I will give you some examples in the further slides. Okay, so the presence of nerve cord is actually called, is the basic character of the chordate. So this nerve, what is this nerve cord? So this is this is actual lancelet animal. So this is a very small finger-like structure animal, which is an aquatic form. Okay, so in this picture, so this is actually lancelet picture. As you can see here, so this is a nerve cord. Okay, so this is the yellow line. So the nerve cord is a small hollow, means empty tubular structure, which begins from anterior region to posterior region. Means, as you can see here, so this is a head region, anterior portion, and this is a posterior region. So this nerve cord is a small thread-like structure which is present at the embryonic stage, extends from anterior to posterior region. So that is a key character of a chordate. Is we have nerve cord? Yes, of course we had nerve cord at the embryonic stage. Means, as before the birth, what happens? These nerve cord will develops into different structure. Means the anterior portion of this nerve cord will be developed as a brain, and the posterior portion of the nerve cord, it will be developed as a spinal cord. As you can see here, so the yellow line here, it's actually the part of the nerve cord. So in the humans or in any animals, if you take, so before the birth, what happens? This nerve cord will be developed as anterior portion part will be developed as a brain. Of course, here they have mentioned, here in the picture you can see the skull, but inside the skull you will that's why we have brain, right? So the portion will be developed as a brain, and the remaining portion will be developed as a spinal cord. Okay, so this is how this nerve cord will be evolved or modifies after complete embryonic growth. In human beings, at adult stage, you won't find nerve cord. Instead, you will have brain and a spinal cord. Okay, and you know that what's the function of the brain and spinal cord. So these this nerve cord is full of nerve cells. So they actually helps in the central nervous system. What we say, that's the part of the brain and spinal cord, right? So central nervous system mainly have spinal cord nervous system, which is almost all the body functions, right? And now know that, so in order to call a chordate an animal, if you call it a chordate, then it should have tubular nerve cord and the notochord. And what is another character that should be in the chordate? Presence of pharyngeal gill slits. So what is this pharyngeal gill slit? So before that, we should know what is presence or absence. We should know the meaning of pharyngeal gill slits. So pharyngeal gill slits, so if you take the pharyngeal gill slits, so this is actually an embryo picture. So as you can see here, this is an embryo picture. So in here they have mentioned a round circle here that actually mentions the pharyngeal pouches. Okay, so why we call it as a pharyngeal pouch or pharyngeal gill slit? Because it present near the pharynx region, means inside near the neck region, right? This is a neck part. So these pharyngeal gill slits, it present in the embryonic stage. Okay, so these pouches actually have slit means small opening like structure. So these pharyngeal pouches is the key character of a chordate. Of course, you may say that, is we have pharyngeal gill slit. Well, these pharyngeal gill slits it present in some animals and it may absent in some animals. I already told you that in order to say that say this animal is a chordate, they should have some basic structures. This structure may present in the younger stage and it may disappear as it become adult, right? Exactly. If you take in case of landslide, which I have given the picture in the previous slide, right? So if you know that, so this is a landslide, right? So in this animal, they actually have gill slit which is present on the either side of means especially in this region. Okay, they have not mentioned here. So this is actually in this region. So they actually have a gill slit portion, so which is helpful filter feeding. Filter feeding means they present in the water media, right? So they take water and whatever the food present in the water, that will be filtered. So for the filtration process, that means for the feeding process, these pharyngeal gill structures will be helpful. Whereas in fishes, it helps in respiration process. Okay, pharyngeal gill slits. But in human beings, or if you take terrestrial animals, okay, fishes and animals, these are aquatic, right? But about aquatic, what do you say, aquatic terrestrial animals, these terrestrial animals, we don't need these pharyngeal gill slits. This pharyngeal gill slits, their main function is helps in the process of respiration in the water media. But we are not living in the water, then what's the use of it? So that's the reason why our during the embryonic development, this pharyngeal gill slits gradually disappears. So this completely disappears before the birth. Instead of the cells or tissues which are present in the pharyngeal pouch region, that will be helps in developing jaw, inner ear and tonsil region. Okay, the cells which are not useful for us, means pharyngeal gill slits, they are not actually useful for us. So that's why they are actually modifies or they will disappear, and the remaining cells of the pharyngeal gill slits, that will be used for the development of jaw and inner ear and tonsils. Okay, so as you can see here, aquatic chordate, they develops into gill slits which is helpful for the respiration. Gill slits is nothing but which is helpful for respiration. In fishes, you could find this structure clearly. Okay. Next character is post-anal tail. So why we call it as a post-anal tail? You know that what is tail? So post-anal tail is nothing but an extension of the body part, the anal opening. Okay, means why we call it as a post-anal tail, because the structure which is present just above the anal region, and you know that the anal region is present in the posterior part of the body. That's why we call it a post anal tail. Okay, so the post anal tail is the you know the what is the function of tail. So tail is helps in, so different animals in they have different functions. If you take fishes, it helps in swimming. If you take like animals like tiger or like monkeys, it actually helps in balancing or in their movement. Okay, some animals like if you take dogs or like dogs, they wag their tails, so that we can easily understand more it's a part of their behavior, right? So that's why these post-anal tail, they have different function in different animals. Or if you take reptiles like lizard, snakes, they helps in the locomotion. For the easy movement, this tail structure will helps, right? So that's why in order to say any animal, if it is a chordate, they should have post-anal tail. Then what about human beings? Is we have tail? You know that we don't have any tail. Of course we have tail, but it is very much reduced because it is insignificant. Means it is not useful for us. Say as the human evolved gradually, this tail as the bipedal locomotion started, means when we started to use two legs. Okay, so gradually our tail reduced. Not only in human beings, if you take chimps, gorillas, even they don't have tail structure, because it is even in these animals, these apes, their tail is very much reduced. As you can see here, so what is this post-anal tail? Post-anal tail is nothing but the end portion of the vertebral column, sacrum part. Okay, so these post-anal tail is actually functionless in human beings, and it is very much reduced, but still we have this bone in our body. Okay, so that's why human beings, we can say it as a chordate, right? So these are the basic four characters that should be in a chordate. Okay, other than this, there are remaining character, we could say, as a characters other than these four key characters, that is triploplastic body. So all chordates have three germal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, sorry, should be endoderm. Okay, endoderm. So that is the three layers, and you know that what is ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Okay, so three layers will be there in all chordates. Even of course we have these three layers. And bilateral symmetry, you know that what is bilateral symmetry. If you take an animal and if you separate into two equal half, I mean from the central plane, if you pass a line, you will get a mirror image, right? If you take human beings, say we have two eyes, two hands, two legs, right? So means we have kind of a mirror image. Our right side of the body have exact mirror image of left side, right? So that's why all the chordates have bilateral symmetrical body. Isn't right? Okay. Other than this, true coelom means, which we also call it as a eucoelomates. Well, chordates, all animals have true coelom, a cavity which is present between the alimentary canal and the dermal layer, which we call it as a coelom, right? So in all animals we could find, means in chordates we could find true coelom. And you know that the types of coeloms are there, pseudocoelom anta kariತೀವಿ. So there are three types of coeloms are there. That is not needed for you because you have already studied in the before in the last semester. Okay, so then they have complete digestive system. You know that what is complete digestive system? What is complete digestive system? Complete means, say if the digestive system begins from mouth to anus, then we say it as a complete digestive system. Is that important? Of course it's important, because say if you see the non-chordates, I have seen many examples where animals, they don't have say there some animals have mouth but they don't have any anal structure. Means both the process of feeding and excretion will be happens in the same mouth structure. Whereas in chordates, in all animals, they have the food will be enters from one side and it will be excreted from another side, right? So that is the typical chordate character. Other than this, the process of cephalization. You know that what is cephalization? Cephalization is nothing but centralization of the sensory organs or sense organs. Centralization of sense organs means, say you have 5 sense organs, right? So these sense organs is actually controlled by the brain. Is that right? So all the sense organs are centralized at this brain, so brain will control all the functions. In higher animals, whatever the sense or stimulation that we receive from the environment, that will be received from the sense organs and it will be sensed by the nervous system. uh, okay, and that is how it actually functions. Okay, in some other animals, like if you take protozoans, like chordate poriferans, not chordate, protozoans, poriferans, in these animals, they don't have any brain, right? So they just have nerve cells. But in highly evolved animals like chordates, all animals have brain. So all the sense organs will be controlled or centralized at the brain. So the brain will decide how to respond to the stimuli, right? So this is what we call it as cephalization. If an animal have nerve cord and this nerve cord will be developed as a brain and spinal cord, that means that is there is cephalization occur, right? So these are some basic characters that should be in a chordate. Okay, so let's see one by one what we have studied in this today's class. So in this picture you will get all the informations of basic four characters, basic character, fundamental characters of character. chordates. So the presence of nerve cord. So nerve cord is the structure which is present on the dorsal region of the body. Below this, you will find a notochord. So this notochord is a, you could say, a backbone structure, whereas nerve cord, it will develop as a brain and spinal cord, right? And then you have pharyngeal gill slits, as you can see here. So this is a pharyngeal gill slit which is helpful in aquatic animals for the respiration process, whereas in terrestrial animals there is no pharyngeal gill slits actually present. It will disappear. Well, in human beings, these pharyngeal gill slits uh, at the end of embryonic development, it will reduced, and the sum of the cells which are present in the pharyngeal region will be used for the development of jaw, tonsil and ear structure. And then post anal tail, as you can see here. So this is a tail, so the tail structure is present just above the anal region. That's why it's called the post anal tail. So this post anal tail is helpful for the swimming and aquatic animals, whereas in terrestrial animals, in reptiles, it helpful for locomotion. In some mammals, you could say it helps in body balance, okay, or it's a key character of animal behavior, okay. So these are some basic characters of, four basic characters of the chordate. Other than this, you will see, what you say, they have triploblastic dermal layers, and they have bilateral symmetrical body, they have true coelom, digestive system is complete, and they show cephalization. So these are all the basic fundamental characters or general characters of chordates. I hope all of you understood the concept. So in the next class, we will going to study about the classification. Okay. So thank you. Uh, that's all.